Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your heart is racing, your palms are sweating, and your mind just goes completely blank right when you need it the most? Or perhaps you've snapped at a friend in anger, saying words you didn't mean, only to instantly regret it the moment they left your mouth. We have all been there. It feels like losing control of the steering wheel of your own life. But what if I told you that the secret to success isn't just about how many facts you know or how high your grades are? There is a different kind of smart, a hidden superpower that dictates your happiness, your relationships, and your future. And the best part? You can build it starting today. Welcome. Today, we are going on a deep journey into one of the most influential books of our time, Emotional Intelligence by Goleman. Now, growing up, we are often told that being smart is all about math, science, history, and getting a high score on an IQ test. We're taught that the person with the best memory or the fastest logic is the one who will win at life. But have you ever noticed something strange? Sometimes the person who was the absolute genius in school struggles in life. They might have a high-paying job, but they're lonely, constantly angry, or stressed out. On the other hand, we all know someone who wasn't the top of the class. Maybe they struggled with grammar or forgot dates in history. Yet everyone loves them. They handle pressure with a smile. They build amazing teams. They are happy. Why is that? Goleman argues that there are two minds, the thinking mind and the feeling mind. While our culture obsesses over the thinking mind, it is actually our feelings, our emotions, that guide the vast majority of our decisions. They shape our days, our nights, and our interactions. In this deep dive, I am going to walk you through the 4 pillars of this concept. We are going to look at signs of high emotional intelligence and how you can develop them. By the end of our time together, you won't just understand this book, you will have a new toolkit for your own life. Whether you're learning English, striving for a promotion, or just want to find more peace at home, this is for you. Chapter 1. The Two Minds, Smart versus Wise. Let's start by redefining what it means to be intelligent. What is emotional intelligence, or EQ? Simply put, it is being smart with your feelings. It's not about suppressing them or turning into a robot. It's about harmony. It's about using your heart and your brain together. Imagine a scale. On one side, you have pure logic, numbers, facts, data. On the other side, you have empathy, impulse control, and social grace. If you only have logic, you might be like a computer, efficient but unable to connect with a human being. If you only have raw emotion, you're like a ship in a storm without a rudder, powerful but lost. Goleman breaks this down into vital components. First, knowing what you are feeling. This sounds simple, right? But how often do you truly stop to check in? We often say, "I'm fine," but deep down we are anxious. Or we say, "I'm tired," when actually we're sad. Emotional intelligence starts with the ability to look inside and accurately label that sensation. Second, it's about managing those feelings. It's about self-regulation. It's the ability to soothe yourself when you are distressed. It's the ability to shake off gloom and anxiety. Third, it's understanding others. It's looking at a face and knowing what is happening behind the eyes. And fourth, it's managing relationships. It's social skill. Think about 2 students. Let's call them Student A and Student B. Student A is a walking encyclopedia. He knows every rule of English grammar. He has memorized the dictionary. But the moment he makes a mistake in conversation, he freezes. He beats himself up. He thinks, "I am stupid for making that error." He gets angry at the teacher for correcting him. His mind is strong, but his emotional resilience is weak. Then there's Student B. She doesn't know as many words, she makes grammar mistakes, but when she messes up, she laughs. She thinks, "Oops, let me try that again." She notices when her classmate is struggling and offers a smile. Who is going to learn faster in the long run? Student B, because she isn't fighting her own brain. She is using her emotions to fuel her learning, not block it. This teaches us a massive lesson. Your emotions are the delivery system for your skills. If the delivery system is broken, it doesn't matter how great your skills are, they won't get through. Chapter 2. When smart people act foolish. Let's expand on this idea of foolishness. When Goleman talks about smart people acting foolish, he isn't calling them dumb. He's talking about a specific phenomenon where intelligence is hijacked. Have you ever seen a brilliant person do something irrational? Maybe a doctor who screams at a nurse over a tiny mistake, or a business leader who throws a phone because the internet is slow. Why does this happen? It happens because they view emotions as a weakness rather than a message. See, society often tells us, don't be emotional, don't cry, be tough. So people push their feelings down, they suppress them. But emotions are like water under pressure. If you don't let them flow, they will eventually burst the pipe. A foolish action usually comes from a place of emotional blindness. You act without thinking because the feeling is too strong. Consider the scientist paradox. Imagine a man who understands the complex physics of the universe. He can calculate the distance to Mars, but he comes home and cannot understand why his wife is upset that he missed dinner. He tries to use logic to fix her sadness. He says, "It is illogical to be sad. I was working." This makes the situation worse. He is intellectually a giant, but emotionally, he is a child. This creates a barrier, it creates distance, and eventually it leads to failure. Because in the real world, we don't work with numbers, we work with people. If you cannot read the room, if you cannot sense the mood, your high IQ is useless. This brings us to a critical realization. Life is full of disappointment. You will fail exams, you will get rejected from jobs, people will be rude to you. IQ cannot stop these things from happening, but emotional intelligence determines how you react to them. The foolish person reacts with rage or total collapse. The emotionally intelligent person reacts with curiosity and resilience. Chapter 3. The Neuroscience of Emotion, the Brain's Design. To truly master your emotions, we have to understand the machine that creates them, the human brain. Goleman simplifies the brain into two major players for us to understand. We can call them the emotional brain, the amygdala, and the thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex. The emotional brain is ancient. It's the part of the brain we share with early ancestors who lived in the wild. Its job is simple, survival. It asks one question, is this dangerous? If the answer is yes, it acts immediately. It doesn't write a pros and cons list, it screams run or fight. The thinking brain is newer. It lives right behind your forehead. This is where you plan, where you learn English, where you decide what to eat for dinner. It is slow, careful, and precise. The problem is the emotional brain is faster. Let's imagine a scenario. You are walking down the street and you hear a loud bang nearby. Before you even think, what was that? Your body has already reacted. You jumped. Your heart is pounding. Your muscles are tight. That's your emotional brain taking over to save you. This is called an emotional hijack. The guard dog in your head starts barking before the teacher can see what is going on. In modern life, we aren't usually running from tigers, but our emotional brain doesn't know that. So when your boss sends you a critical email, or when you forget a word during an English presentation, your emotional brain treats it like a tiger attack. It screams danger. It floods your body with stress hormones. Your thinking brain, the part you need to remember vocabulary or write a polite email, essentially shuts down. That's why you can't remember simple things when you are terrified. The bridge between your knowledge and your mouth has been cut by fear. This understanding biological fact is freeing. It means you're not stupid when you panic. You're just human. Your ancient survival mechanism is working a little too well. The goal of emotional intelligence is to train the thinking brain to calm the emotional brain down, to say, thank you for the warning, but this is just an email, not a tiger. We are safe. Chapter 4. Self-awareness, the foundation. So how do we calm the guard dog?
It starts with self-awareness. If emotional intelligence is a house, self-awareness is the concrete foundation. You cannot build anything else without it. Self-awareness is the ability to recognize a feeling as it is happening. Most people live their lives on autopilot. They feel bad, so they eat junk food. They feel angry, so they yell. They don't stop to ask, what is this feeling? Goleman teaches us the power of naming. There's a psychological phrase, name it to tame it. When you are feeling a storm inside, stop. Don't ignore it. Don't fight it. Just acknowledge it. Say to yourself, I am feeling frustrated right now, or I am feeling jealous right now.
Something magical happens in the brain when you do this. When you put a word to an emotion, you engage your thinking brain. You move the activity from the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex. You take the power away from the feeling and give it back to your logic. Let's practice this. Think about the last time you felt a heavy weight in your chest. Did you say, I am sad? Or did you say, I am feeling disappointed because my friend canceled our plans, and that makes me feel unimportant? The second sentence is self-awareness. It identifies the trigger. It validates the emotion. Self-awareness also means listening to the quiet signals of your body. Your body often knows how you feel before your mind does. Are your shoulders engaging and rising up to your ears? You might be stressed. Is your stomach churning? You might be anxious. Is your jaw clenched? You might be holding back anger. By paying attention to these physical clues, you can catch the emotion while it is small. It is much easier to put out a match than it is to put out a forest fire. If you catch your frustration when it is just a tiny spark, you can breathe through it. If you wait until it is a blazing fire, you will explode. We also need to be aware of our self-talk, that inner voice. Is it a bully or is it a friend? If you fail a test, does your voice say, you are a failure? Or does it say, you didn't study enough this time, but you can improve? Self-awareness allows you to hear that voice and correct it. Chapter 5, Self-Control, the Pause. Once you are aware, what do? You exercise self-control. Self-control is not about suppressing emotions. It is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about choosing your reaction. Imagine you are holding a remote control for your life. When something bad happens, most people immediately press play on their reaction. Something bad happens, they shout. Stimulus, response. Emotional intelligence teaches us to press pause. That pause is where your freedom lives. In that pause, you can breathe. Let's talk about the 1-2-3 technique. It sounds like something for children, but it is deeply neurological. When you are angry, your body is flooded with adrenaline. It takes about 6 seconds for those chemicals to initially surge. If you can force yourself to count to 3 slowly, you allow your thinking brain to catch up. 1. Breathe in. 2. Hold. 3. Breathe out. In those few seconds, you change your destiny. You decide not to send that angry text message. You decide not to quit your job in a rage. Let's apply this to learning English. You are trying to speak and you keep forgetting the word. You feel the heat rising in your face. You want to stop speaking. The foolish reaction is to say, I can't do this, and walk away. The self-controlled reaction is feel the frustration, awareness, pause, breathe, say to yourself, it's okay, I'm learning. Let me try to explain it a different way. This is mental toughness. It is the ability to stay comfortable being uncomfortable. Chapter 5, Motivation, the Fire Within. Now, why do we do all this? What keeps us moving forward? Motivation. There are 2 types of motivation. External, money, grades, praise, and internal, passion, curiosity, personal growth. Goleman found that the most successful people are driven by internal motivation. They have a why. When you are learning a skill or building a career, there will be boring days. There will be days when you fail. If you only work for the applause of others, you will quit when the applause stops. But if you have high EQ, you generate your own fuel. You find joy in the process, not just the result. You embrace flow, that state where you are so focused on the task that you lose track of time. To build this, focus on small wins. Did you learn 5 new words today? Celebrate that. Did you handle a difficult conversation without yelling? Celebrate that. These small victories release dopamine in your brain, which makes you want to keep going. Chapter 7. Empathy and Social Skills. Finally, we turn outward. Empathy. If self-awareness is understanding yourself, empathy is understanding others. It is social skills and charisma in action. It is the ability to say, I see you. I understand how you feel. When a friend is sad, the low EQ person says, stop crying, it's not a big deal. The high EQ person says, I can see you are hurting. I am here for you. Empathy creates trust, and trust is the currency of the world. You cannot lead a team, teach a class, or maintain a marriage without it. And this leads to social skills. This isn't just about being talkative, it's about emotional judo. It's knowing when to speak and when to listen. It's knowing how to disagree without being disagreeable. In our global world where we speak different languages, like English, empathy is the universal language. You might not understand every word someone says, but you can understand their smile, their tone, and their heart. Chapter 8. Conclusion and Outro. So as we wrap up this hour-long journey, I want you to remember this. Emotional intelligence is not a fixed trait. It is not like your height or your eye color. It is a muscle. Every single day, you have opportunities to train it. Every time you get frustrated in traffic, that is a rep for your muscle. Every time you choose to listen instead of interrupt, that is a rep. Every time you forgive yourself for a mistake, you are getting stronger. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. By mastering your emotions, you master that 90%. You become the author of your own story, not just a character in it. Take a deep breath. You have the tools now. You have the knowledge. The rest is practice. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you found value in this deep dive, please hit that like button. It really helps the community grow. And don't forget to subscribe to English Glow for more content that lights up your mind and your language skills. Until next time, stay calm, stay curious, and keep glowing.